Intel Core i3-9100F vs Ryzen 5 1600AF. Battle of the Budget CPUs. Having recently reviewed the Ryzen 5 1600AF, you should know all there is to know about this nimble CPU. How it performs, where you can buy it, what you need to support it, and so on. In short, it's an incredible value, and if you're lucky enough to have it available in your region and want something for under $100, there's simply no better option, or at least that's our opinion. However, we've seen some replies claiming the Core i3-9100F is a better choice. It's also cheaper and more widely available, so there is that. It happens to be one of Intel's most popular CPUs right now, as it costs just $80, so before we get into the benchmarks, let's discuss Intel's budget processor. The Core i3-9100F is a 4-core/4-thread Coffee Lake CPU, which means it's nearly identical to an 8th, 7th and 6th gen quad-core. It's also not overly different to a 4th gen Haswell quad-core except for the upgrade to DDR4 memory. Been there, done that. As a 6th gen part, it's basically what we knew as the Core i5 6600, which retailed for $215. As a 7th gen part, it's close to the Core i5 7600, which also retailed for $215. Then for the 8th gen series, quad-cores were rebranded for the first time as Core i3, though they didn't support turbo boost. The 9th gen i3-9100F is about the same as an i3-8100 but with turbo enabled, supporting up to 4.2 GHz for single-core workloads. Taking this into consideration, the 9100F is more like a Core i5 7600K, as it also boosted to 4.2 GHz, though it featured a higher base clock at 3.8 GHz, whereas the Core i3-9100F can drop as low as 3.6 GHz. Going through the specs as we just did, it seems clear there's going to be very little delta when comparing the 7600K and 9100F, at least out of the box. The older Core i5 does get overclocking as a K part, whereas the 9100F is locked regardless of the chipset used. Only with a Z-series motherboard the Core i3 processor does support memory overclocking. This begs the question, why were Intel fans claiming the 9100F would dust the 1600AF, when in that very review we included Core i5 7600K results? Whatever the case, today we are putting them head-to-head in an effort to determine which budget CPU you should invest in. Let's jump into the blue bar graphs and do our thing. For testing the i3-9100F we used a GB Z390 Aorus Ultra equipped with DDR4 3200CL14 memory. The same memory was used for all other processors, as well as an RTX 2080 graphics card to reduce potential GPU bottlenecks. This allows us to look at the CPU performance, rather than the GPU performance, as this isn't a mid-range GPU review. Benchmark time. Right off the bat we have Cinebench R20 multi results, and the margins you see here will translate to any application that can utilize 6-core. For more on this story, visit the news article link.